What's up, y'all? We are back, episode 27 of the Minnesota Twins 2024 Out of the Park Baseball Series. And we are here in the 2032 offseason. Just kicking off. First thing we did, declined Noah Dean's $15 million option. We're kind of out of money, so that's important to start the series with. So, 10 years in, 4 World Championships later, and these are our goals for the season: reach the playoffs, acquire most valuable player, final total balance of 35 million. That's not going to happen most likely, but and build a dynasty in the next 5 seasons. I don't know how we haven't done that already, but I guess we'll run with you, Jim. New owner, so he's got to get the feel of things. So first thing we have to do is set our scouting international. And let's actually go through arbitration first. I'll do that off camera. So, Mike Wolf still wants a big extension. Yeah, I can't afford that right now, nor do I want to give you a 13-year deal averaging $61 million. We'll run him year to year. We'll try to get in free agency when he eventually hits that. Um, Assuming no one offers him anything ridiculous. I think we'll bring back all these guys. Leando's a little pricey at this point, but I don't think we can do much better out of the pen. Maybe we could. Cody Schreier will definitely be back as our center fielder. Mitchell will be back at that price. 6'6". Tommy White, he's not a starter, but he's not even a really good player. But I definitely like having him on the team, and definitely at that price. Then Lamar King, even though he had a rough year, I still have faith in him to turn it around at $3 million. So Leando could be moved potentially. I'm not gonna offer him yet. Just we'll see what our options are. Correa doesn't want a ton of money. I could probably get him down to a 2-year deal. Do I want to give him a deal at this point? He's not really much of a shortstop anymore. He was league average at best. Only played 100 games. Yeah, I might wait it out on him, or look internally for another. Maybe Pena could play short. That's probably what I'll do. Because I can't afford that. Let me make sure he doesn't. 25 point. Geez, I think the qualifying offer goes up just a little bit too much every year. I can't even afford to offer him that. So, I wonder if he would accept that though. So maybe I'll try to clear up a little bit of budget space to check on that. Jordan Wicks doesn't want a ton. Chase Petty, pretty decent deal. I'd like to bring back Petty because he's been around for so long and been solid. We can offer Nola a qualifying offer. He's already been offered one in his career. Minor league free agents, I'll go through that, but yeah, we'll get back the next thing that happens. All right, so we're gonna pull off our first trade of the offseason, I think. So, Binder Leando has been one of the best relievers on my team for the last 5 years. 6 years actually, 6.5 or so. He never gets hurt or anything, but he's getting expensive, and he only has one more year of control left. Believe he's a free agent after this upcoming season. So we're gonna flip him for this guy Jeff Hatfield, 70 range out in the outfield, and a pretty decent bat. My scout thinks he's defensive stability in center field, above average contact hitter, plus speed. Unleash obvious talents on both sides of the plate. So had about league average hitter in 65 games for Baltimore last year, but has a good glove in center field, and maybe that opens us up to trade Schreier at that point, or maybe move Schreier back to the infield or something like that. But we have a ton of pitchers coming up in our system, and I don't really know what I'm going to do with all of them. So, like, Mike Carson is probably the Mike Wolf long-term replacement. Amari Brazen's going to compete for a rotation spot. Danny Bruin as well. We still have we have some other guys like Hoofkin, Bug, and higher. Like, we have a ton of pitchers that I think any of these guys can step into the bullpen and be a good arm for us. So that's not even including like Watson and Glazebrook are already up. So um, I think a bullpen arm is pretty good to give up a center fielder who's going to be with us for the next 5 seasons. So it sucks to give Leendo, but we're going to go through with this trade. Leendo was one of those guys who kind of popped up onto the scene, kind of playing with house money way back in like 2027, just like completely erupted and became one of the best relievers in baseball. So sad to see him go, but I think it's a smart move long term to get a long term center fielder. So there you go. That is our first trade of the offseason. We'll get back, when something else happens, I guess. So my game tragically froze. It's been doing that quite a bit. So I had to redo the trade. We just threw in Jorge Resto, who's a decent pitching prospect, but yeah, we wound up giving him up as well to get Hatfield. So just wanted to do that. Full disclosure, I probably could have went into commission mode and just done it again, but yeah, I didn't really want to do that. So there you go. That's how that sets up. Yeah, it reset our whole off season. So bit of a pain, not gonna lie, but overall we're going fine. We just gotta offer those guys arbitration again, and we should be good. So yeah, we'll be back at the next move. All right, let's walk you guys through the awards. So none of our players won any Gold Gloves or anything. John Lash did win Reliever of the Year unanimously. No other Twins appeared on the list. Not surprising at all. After the season our bullpen had. Silver Sluggers, a little more successful here. We got the duo of Palencia and DiMartini here for us. Some familiar names that we went over last episode. Turley, Rodriguez, Franco. I don't know how you say that name, but Rookie of the Year, no votes for our guys. And we won Manager of the Year again. Definitely our least deserving time out there. But in the AL, Jared Gross wins unanimous Cy Young, like I kind of alluded to last episode. Mike Wolf finishes second. Doesn't get any first place votes, though. And down the ballot, Hagen Smith got a vote. Just a single vote, but, that counts. And for the NL, Chris Lanier, who for the World Series winning Brewers, wins it. And then for MVP, Franco wins again, but only gets 18 votes. The others were spread around between DiMartini, Brooks Brannon, and Palencia, who actually picked up the most but finished in fourth. Let's see, any of our other guys down here. Mike Wolf finished down the ballot quite a bit, but there you go. There's the awards, and we'll be back. All right, so we are at free agent filing period, and I feel pretty good about every aspect of this team almost. Actually, let me add some guys to the 40-man while I talk through this. So this is our bullpen right now. There's not a single sure thing. Maybe De Los Santos is probably the only thing. I like this guy, Antonio Jimenez, but besides that, like Benison, I don't know what he's going to be with a one-pitch mix. Matt Olson was fine last year, but nothing special. But I want Glazebrook in the rotation, and I want Watson in the rotation. So those are our five. I mean, it's locked in pretty good. I like this. We have plenty of depth in the minors. And a lot of these guys will probably make an appearance as relievers. I mean, Mike Carson could also crack the rotation potentially, but like Amari Brazen, I wouldn't mind using him as a reliever. Danny Bruin as well, but yeah, we need some bullpen help for this season. So we have $29 million to spend, and my goal is to revamp this bullpen because it was really bad last year, and we can't afford to do that again. So, I've seen some guys out here. Old friend Carson Coleman, who was, pretty good for us in a couple of years, playing for us. I'd rather go for like not bargain bin guys, but like Noah Dean only wants 3.8 million. Dude, I'm gonna re-sign Noah Dean. I think I never thought I'd do this, but I think he could have a good year. I'm not gonna pitch him as my closer, but um, Philly wants 3.8 million. He's probably the best reliever on the market for that price. Um, I don't mind this guy, fastball slider type. Um, Not a ton of. Oh no, he's pretty well experienced. Is Shirada. Luis Gill could be a dominant like fastball slider. Um, oh, Hernandez. This is the perfect time to reunite him. Unfortunately, he wants a ton of money. Or if he'd go for like a 1 year, $10 million deal. He's not biting on that. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my eye on him because I'd love to get him back. Jackson Holiday, interesting. Yeah, so I'm gonna do this off camera, and we'll look through some relievers. Ooh, P. Crow Armstrong. Ooh, so many center fielders now. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go look for like some cheaper options. I don't mind this guy, Ricky Karcher. Coming off a rough year with Detroit, but has a good track record. Um, 35 years old though. This guy could break down at any moment. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go through off camera and go through this, and we'll come back when we sign some of these guys, hopefully. Okay, so this is our second trade of the offseason. We're gonna flip Brady Strom, who's a 40-man guy. Was fine last year when he came up as a starter, but he's actually has one more option here. I might actually change who's included in this deal then. Um, I need someone who doesn't have any options. Coons, it's gonna be Coons, I think, or it'll be Peterson. Kind of like Peterson a little bit better. He's also out of options. Um, let's see, Peterson, high work ethic, high intelligence, 27. Coons, 27 as well. Um, I mean, Coons, we gave plenty of shots to, so I think I'm going to add him. They don't actually like that much, so let me try to negotiate this a little bit better. So let me take all of this guarantee off. So I'll leave that contract. I just want to see what I can get it down to. Maybe I'll just include like a minor league filler type. I don't know. Let's see. Who do I really care about giving up? I like that guy's strikeout rate. Strom still has an option, which I like. You know what? We're going to go Zach Youngren, I think. His former second-round pick. 24 years old now, and, he's still a good defensive catcher. I don't know. Maybe we can... It might be too quick to give up on him. Screw it. I'm just going to give David Aguilar here. So, in return, we'll pick up Miguel Rodon, who... not the most impressive reliever, but I like that he has high control, high movement, and all this stuff is above average basically. And we have a lot of high stuff, low control guys. So just a little something else to throw in that pen that's not just that. So, and he's been really consistent over the years for multiple teams. Yeah, I mean he had this one hiccup, but besides that, he's been a pretty stable starter. 3.4 career ERA. So yeah, we're going to do that. Complete that trade. That clears two 40-man spots, which could come in handy pretty soon. So Rondon will go into the pen, and we'll keep moving forward this offseason. We'll be back. So just a little update. Aaron Nola officially signed with the Atlanta Braves, a 2-year deal. That vest will it could happen, 180 innings, but a good deal for Nola coming off a pretty bad year, probably the worst of his career with us. But good luck to him in Atlanta. The team does not like that we let him go, but I think it was just time, and I don't really regret that at all. So yeah, we will move forward and get back to you guys. Next big move. All right, so our third deal of the offseason We are trading Johnny Barth, who, is a decent minor league depth guy. Hasn't made it past high A for me. And Arturo Guerra, who is in double A slash triple A, split time there last year. A decent arm. I could see this guy being like a fifth starter swingman type. And in return, we're getting Jack Neely, one of the best relievers in baseball. Due $21 million this year, and we're going to eat 65% of that deal. They'll take 35%. But, man, this guy could potentially be, kind of our savior here in the bullpen, potentially. Again, free agent after the year. But, we're getting one of the best relievers in baseball. And not giving up too much. All we got to do is eat like $13 million. So that brings us down to having like no money. So we might have to clear up a bit more. It's possible we can have them eat a little bit. You know what? There's actually some guys I wouldn't mind getting off. Like Grahavec. Like he's a nice catcher, but he's out of options. And I'm going to have to do something with him. So I might try to throw him in here and see if we can get them to take a little bit more. So yeah, they'd eat 50% if we throw in Grahavec, which, I mean, he's a really nice player and he was good when he came up for us and was good in AAA. But if we're gonna run out King and Hoffman, Grahavec is probably the guy. We're not gonna have a spot for him, even though he's actually a good defender all around. I don't know. He actually might be a good player to keep on the roster. Maybe you can make it as a utility guy, like a super play catcher as well, utility guy. That'd be an interesting player to have. They are mowing the lawn outside. That is so loud. All right, so I think we're just gonna do this. We'll eat $13 million to get one of the best relievers in baseball in Jack Neely. So, boom, there you go, and cool. So he will slot in, probably do my closer role because I didn't like John Lash's postseason last year. That kind of turned me off. So Neely will step in. We'll probably have like Rondon in the 7th or something. But yeah, the bullpen will look like we'll have some of these guys. Peterson has to make the team. He's out of options. Strom has an option. Kahn has an option. But yeah, our rotation it'll look something like this. So yeah, that might be all the moves we make. Do I have any pending offers for free agents? Because I don't know if we can afford it. I mean, we can still get Dean back. I don't think that's stupid. I think $4 million is fine for him. And a bunch of these guys have options anyway, so it's not a big deal. So yeah, we'll pick up Dean. Maybe he'll sign in the upcoming days here. So let's sim ahead and pass through the winter meetings. A bunch of guys went on the trade block actually after I traded for Rondon, which wasn't the worst thing in the world. I still would have picked him up, but for what we got him for. But okay, Rule 5 draft. So I think I added everyone I needed to. Oh, Chris Bug. Okay, I already didn't. So he's one. I think all my big pitchers. Let me look. So Kevin Hood is on the 40. I think I'm good keeping those guys off. Hoofkin I'll keep off. Yeah, Bug was I guess the only guy that I wanted to add. Enhire's good. Brunacci is good. Is Kip? Yeah, Kip's not eligible yet. I really hope he turns into something. I don't know. We'll see. But okay, I think we're good for the Rule 5 draft, I believe. So let's Sergio Camona. Decent. Wow, young guy too. They usually take like the 35-year-old has-beens in this draft, so it's interesting. Yeah, there you go. 30-year-old. Yep, 35-year-old O'Neal Cruz goes in the draft. Yeah, this is one thing out of the park really hasn't been able to figure out is what kind of guys should be added to the 40-man roster and stuff like that. But yeah, we don't really have any roster room, so I'm just going to complete the draft. And someone got taken. Andres Castro. Oh, shoot. I actually wanted to keep this guy. So, story about this guy is he must have shot up my scouting board. I guess he didn't. He's always been pretty decently highly touted. And had a really good year in Double A. I sent him to Triple A. I should have added him to the 40 man. That was stupid. So we lose him. Possible we get him back, but the guys we took last year we never wound up getting back. I don't think so. Yeah, we'll move forward and come back next update. Just a small little update. Since I went over the Hall of Fame last, like the bonus episode, CC Sabathia finally made it in his 9th year. I'd be shocked if that's how it is in real life. And Max Scherzer 4th year. I'd be even more shocked if he wasn't a first ballot guy. So Kimbrel's still waiting. Jansen's still waiting. I figure they'll make it in, but this game is so weird. Like Mauer, come on. I think Joe Mauer, he just hung around. He made it to 65% his first year. Like he was just all over the place. Never made it above 50 or like close again. Where's DeGrom? DeGrom's at 20, so he went down. Yeah. I don't know. The Hall of Fame voting's also weird. Giancarlo barely makes it he barely survives the ballot drop. Rizzo, I don't think Rizzo should have been dropped on the first ballot. That's bizarre, but there you go. That's Hall of Fame stuff, and we'll be back. All right, so it's like a day later, and Carlos Correa signed with St. Louis. I'm sad to see him go. He was, the heart and soul of this team for 4 championships and, countless other runs to the championship. And signed with St. Louis with a $19 million deal. I was negotiating with him, but, I was looking more in like the $12 million range type. But good luck to him in St. Louis. We'll probably retire his number at some point when he retires. And, it sucks to see him go, but, Pena, I think, can play a fine shortstop. He was good there last year when we played him there. And, I think our infield defense is, probably take a step back, but it's still good. So, we'll keep going. All right, so the international free agent period is here. We only had $4.6 million to spend, so I went with one guy that I really liked, Edgar Trujillo. This is the OSA. This is our head scout, so... the head scout thinks he has a better glove, worse bat. Our scout thinks he has a better bat, worse glove. So if he's somewhere in between that, this could be, one of the best shortstops in baseball. So very excited about this guy, but, we probably won't see him for another 5 years if we make it that far in the save. So, we'll be back. Okay, so we're here at the end of spring training, and I think we're going to pull the trigger on this deal. So Jesus Montez, he's been with this organization forever. We signed him back in 2023 as an amateur. And, he never really developed into the guy that we thought he was going to be. But he wound up having like a pretty decent 3 seasons for us. About a league average hitter. But we're going to ship him off to Milwaukee, where hopefully he can find some playing time. We just have a huge roster crunch in the outfield, and Montez is probably the guy out. So we're just gonna flip him for Luis Pacheco. Has a couple options on a minor league deal, and not a big game changing move, but it does clear up a roster spot. And he goes right down to somewhere. Let's see, where the heck did Pacheco go? He went down to AA, one of them in AAA. Okay. So, our roster crunch is now at 15 hitters. We need to get that down to 13. So, Grahovac, I thought might have a chance to make the team, but, this roster is like, I don't know what to do here. So, we have Hatfield. He's got to make the team. He'll be our backup outfielder. And Steve Driver, who I would love to keep around because I really like him, and he's always out there when I need him. But, he's out of options too. He's 29. I think I'm actually just going to DFA him. Unfortunately, there wasn't much of a market for him, so he might pass through waivers, and that could open up the ability to bring him back eventually. But I think I want to run the Grahovac on this team as like a utility guy. And then Rucker, obviously, whose defense has improved. That's good. And Hatfield and White. But we need one more guy to send down here or something. Maybe a pitcher, honestly. I want all these arms up here. I mean, I like Liam Liam Peterson. I should say Danny Bruin is going to make the rotation. Had a really strong spring, and we needed a fifth starter because Eric Watson went down with a shoulder labrum tear, so who knows how he comes back from that, but unfortunate if that does end him. We also put Matt Olson on kind of the phantom IL to also clear up a spot, but I wanted to keep him on the team because he had a good spring and he's a good long reliever, but I think Liam Peterson might get DFA'd here. Gismondi is his two options. I mean, I could send him down, but I would like to give him another shot. Pena, good leader. I've been saying that for years about him, but also out of options. You know what? I'm gonna waive in DFA Jose Pena. Maybe he passes through waivers, maybe he doesn't, but yeah, we'll sum up the opening day here. All right, folks. So we are at opening day. Our owner, Jim Pollard Jr., wants us to reach the playoffs this year, so I think we can do that. No top 10 players this year. Our farm system has dropped way down to, I think it was 23rd last time I looked. Now it's 24th. Only one top 100 guy after we graduated, Sawden and Glazebrook. So preseason predictions, they expect us to go 98-64. Best record in the AL, Tigers behind us. Top hitters, we have DeMartini, we have Palencia, a couple mainstays in that list. And then for top pitchers, Mike Wolf, Hagen Smith for the Minnesota Twins. NL looks like this. Want to stop and look, but okay, opening day here. Mike Wolf on the mound. This is what our lineups are looking like. Pretty much the same against lefties and righties, except Sawden is switched out with Tommy White. That could change. Maybe Jeff Roy gets spelled at some point, but I'd rather play Roy against lefties, I think, right now instead of Sawden. He has some crazy splits. Not the worst player against lefties, but, I'm going to try to shelter him for the moment. Doing that. Jeff Roy, much more balanced, I would say. So we'll give him a shot. And, here we go. Opening day. The rotation is as follows. Wolf, Smith, Warren, Glazebrook, and Bruin. So here we go. Opening day against Kansas City, in Kansas City. And we win 8-2. So a couple development updates. I think Carson goes up. Yeah, he had a rough spring, so he didn't make the rotation. Whatever. I can look at that later. So win 8-2 on opening day. It's like we had a big explosion in the second, 6 runs, and that was all we needed. Mike Wolf, 8 innings, 2 runs. Gismondi finishes it out. So big days from Palencia, Martini, Roy, Schreier, a couple hits, and overall a good game. So there you go. That'll wrap up episode 27, I think, of the Twins Out of the Park Baseball series. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.